Hello, my loves. Jamie here, but you can call me Jay, off-grid in the high desert of New Mexico. I started this desert journey with nothing but the clothes on my back, my dogs, and even brought my kids along for the ride. I'm going to share with you all the ups and downs, the reality of off-grid life. No filter. Life's been rough and we don't have a lot, but we sure are happy. There'll be tears, there'll be joy, there'll be injuries, there'll be plenty of failures. But in the long run, there'll be progress, slowly but surely. Thank you for joining me on my off-grid desert journey. Peace, love, light.
Hello, my loves. Today, we are going to talk about all the things that no one talks about being off-grid. I'm also going to do a couple questions that were on some of my other videos. Okay, so first thing, you will see some outfit changes. I did videos, didn't like them when I went into editing, redid them after I changed because it got hotter. 2, my teeth. I'm going to try not to get emotional during this. It is a touchy subject. Starting from when I was a kid, some traumas, during childhood, I started grinding my teeth in my sleep. Thankfully, kids are quite resilient, and it never really had much of an effect. But yeah, whenever I would get stressed out or get sick, I would grind my teeth. Well, in 2021, I got really, really sick, and it left me immune compromised. And I am a lot better than I was. I was bedridden for quite some time, could barely get up and feed myself, needed help to get up and go to the bathroom. I mean, it was pretty harsh. Moving out to the desert gave me time to do a lot of healing, not just health-wise, but mentally. I have not had an easy life by any means. Anyway, when you are immune compromised, it takes a toll on your body. And so that combined with the stress of everything, I was grinding my teeth again, the combination of everything. And when you're sick, you know, it's hard to even get up and take care of yourself properly. It just all adds up, and it took its toll. And I didn't really have any issues until about a year and a half ago. And that's when my teeth started breaking. Think about it, but I currently cannot. I don't have the finances to do so. It is embarrassing. I know it's not pretty to look at. I can't do anything about it. If I could, I would. I mean, like I said, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I've always had great teeth, and now my teeth are just breaking all over the place. I have stopped grinding my teeth, thankfully, but the damage is done. Thankfully, I'm a vegetarian, so I have to worry about chewing meat, but it makes life difficult. There's things I can't eat because I can't chew it. If something is too, you know, like, I love kettle chips, can't eat them. Things like that. So it is difficult for me to even be talking to you about this. I feel quite vulnerable, but it is what it is. When I can do something about it, I will. But until then, please be kind. All right, on a lighter note, let's go to the next topic. We're going to get into all the stuff that no one sees. One of the questions that I had was from, I'll tag you it, but you asked me about the composting toilet. So right now, I have this ramshackle shed. I'll show you in a second. And then we'll just go to where I'm not, and you can just see what I'm doing. But it's just a bunch of used wood. I would like to rebuild a bathroom with the composting toilet and then a shower attached to like the side of it. I'm just out there, excuse me, my coffee is just like this morning. Um, for now, we have this shed with just, it's basically a camping toilet with a toilet seat on it. But I put sawdust in there, and I put, here, I'll show you. So over there, you will see a downed log that is deteriorating. I get a bunch of sawdust from there, wood chips. And then under the pine trees, you'll see, oh, zoom back out. You'll see this darker, rich soil that's just broken down pine needles, some wood, some plant matter. I put that in there. Pine nut. This is the bathroom. Yes, there is a log on it. That is because we do not have hinges for it yet. And we got a new dog, and he wants to get into the toilet. So I have to pick it up like this. And then boom, it's not a lot of space, but I fit. My son is a skinny mini like me, so yep, you just come in, sit down. But we got our water in here, which I don't love that it's next to the toilet, but it is what it is. And then our just kind of our junk and our odds and ends and our bathroom stuff. We need to expand. I'm working on it. This thing, it's sturdy enough, but I would like it just to be a bathroom and get the storage into the underground pantry when I finish, when and if I ever finish that. Because I don't like all this stuff being in here, and it's a little tight. So yeah. And when we're done with this toilet, we have other buckets. We let this sit in the full sun, in the sun out here, because we're at like 8,000 feet, I think. When you put something in the direct sun, it composts pretty quick. So we just let it set out in the sun until it looks like soil, and use a different bucket. And we just keep switching buckets out as we go. That's it. When we use the compost, by the way, we don't grow food in it. We put it around the trees. We do have a lot of fallen trees. The soil here is just, it's funny because the soil where we're sitting, or where I'm building, is quite compact. But that's because we're on it. But the farther out you go, this behind me and the 4 acres that direction, it is really loose soil. You'll have plants like weeds that will get really tall because it holds so much moisture back there, but it can't even hold that up. They'll just start tipping over. So we have a lot of fallen trees here. So one of the things that we're working on is, like if we see a little tree underneath a big tree, it will eventually get bigger and knock the big tree over. So we transplant those trees, and then we're taking some of the compost and putting it underneath the elder trees, just to keep them healthy and put more solid soil on those roots so they don't uproot and fall over. Because right now, all that's holding them in is this soft sand that's everywhere. And I'll show you that later. But, well, you kind of get an idea of the stuff I showed you under that tree, that soft dirt. And underneath is that's just sand. I think that's about it. All right, let's move on to the next one. How do I wash my hair? Let's do it. Okay, so another question is power. In a previous video kind of showed our solar setup. We have a 200 watt panel and a 300 watt battery. The problem with that is, like, they hook up properly and everything, but for some reason, and this is one of the reasons I haven't been on, when we hook it up, if we don't partially cover the panel or fold one of the panels down or both, the battery gets too hot. It overcharges. If it goes over 80 watts, the battery freaks out. And it's actually burnt the cord up a little bit. So that is not usable now with this battery. And the battery is kind of being wonky now. So we probably need to replace both. We have a backup panel, but it is a very, very small panel. And so it doesn't charge it very much, and it's not enough to run the Starlink on. So if we run the Starlink, I could be on momentarily, and then it eats up the battery pretty quickly because it's not enough. So once I use it, it takes forever to charge the battery back up, and we have to use it for all the other different things that we need, like charging our phones and whatnot. So yeah, solar is an issue right now. We are working on that.
Next question, how do we cook? I'll show you. So, excuse the lunch mess. I haven't cleaned it up yet. We mostly use this grill that is powered by a propane tank. It lasts us quite a long time. We do also have this camping stove. We rarely use it. We usually just use it to boil water because it's direct heat. That would take forever to boil water. It's like twice as fast. That brings us back out here to where I'm working on the fire pit. Now in the desert, we could just cook on the fire pit. We didn't need all the other stuff. But here, not only is it desert, but there's trees. So fire hazard. So we can only use this when it rains. Work in progress, by the way. When it rains or in the winter. Food storage, you ask? All right. This is basically where we keep our canned goods. Stuff like my herbs and some extra rice and, stuff like that. My ferment starters, which I need to burp. We have an underground cooler here. We put our cold stuff in that and then put stuff on top of it to keep it even colder. Now, when we use that cooler, we do like a layer of ice and then some drinks and then the cold stuff on top. That way, when the ice starts to melt, the food doesn't drop into the water. This is a fridge we found. We put the foil on the front of it to keep the sun off it so it stays cool longer. Yes, we could hook it up to a propane, but that's just using more resources. It's kind of empty right now. My son is on his way with groceries. We just basically keep our fruits and vegetables and some condiments in here. And then we put our eggs in there. It stays fairly cool. And this is like the box stuff that mice could get into. And then here inside our little tent thingy, we have another cooler. It is fairly empty now because I just cleaned it out because, like I said, my son is on his way with groceries and ice. But that is same as the other cooler. Ice, drinks, more cold food. So this is the car that Devin, my son, came with. It is now fallout storage. We keep electronics in this, laundry, etc., books. Storage was a huge issue out on the other property in the desert. We didn't have all these containers and the broke down car to put everything in, so we lost a lot of stuff. We didn't bring much, but the stuff we did get would get sand in it and get just ruined all the time. The mice would eat up our clothes. I mean, you name it. So a lot of stuff went to the trash. These are the containers we keep our clothes on, and then we put the panel on top. This is the one that we can't really use anymore. I was out here fidgeting it with earlier. That's why it's set up now. I showed you the water containers that we have in the bathroom there. We get the 5-gallon containers and then just empty into the gallon so he could take the 5 gallons back into town and refill them. But we also catch rainwater with just buckets sitting around. I'm actually currently cleaning the lids because some stuff got tossed. My son thought he could make it to the garbage and missed, and it went all over the screen. But we usually have a screen on that to keep bugs and stuff out of it. But we just use that water for the plants. So I think that's all the questions. At some point, I will do a full tour of everything and answer any other questions. Maybe when I hit 1,000 subscribers / friends, I'll do a introduction about me. All right, well, let's chit chat a little bit.
Get into it. So a lot of people think that they can't do this because they think it's going to cost them a bunch of money. That is not true. If you have the money to buy the property, and you don't have to buy it outright, there are lots of companies that will work with you and let you make payments. And if you buy the desert like I did, I got an acre with document fees, $1,650. $1,650 for a whole acre of land. Granted, it was raw land. It was pure desert. The only thing growing there was cactus and spiky plants and poisonous plants. That's it. But it was mine. It was mine. But yeah, when I started, I had the clothes on my back and my dogs. I put what I could in my van and we went out. And I say we, because when I told my kids I was leaving, they decided to come with me. That was the scariest part of going off grid, because I knew that I could handle it. And that was still a little, I didn't have real great self-esteem, but taking the time to go out there every year and work on it, drive out of state, which I had never done, built up my confidence a lot. And just being out there by myself and doing my thing did wonders for me. But having to be responsible for 2 other people, your children on top of it, that was the scary part. Because if I fail, that's one thing. But I can't fail with 2 other people dependent on me. So that part was a little rough, but I had nothing. I was building with scrap wood. Anything I'd find stuff on the side of the roads and pick them up. I'd find stuff on Marketplace for free that I would go pick up. Just some basic hand tools that my mom gave me. That's it. I was out there in the desert for 2 years. Why did I move to this property? Long story short, and I can get into that if you'd like, and I can give you the whole backstory. Just let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. But basically, I'm immune compromised, and I was doing okay out there. Gave me a lot of time to heal, but the stress of living the life that I was living was enough, because it is rough. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is rough, especially when you have no money. I used the money that I had to get from Illinois to New Mexico. So yeah, when you're starting off with nothing, it is hard. So that was stressful enough, but I did love it. I actually still miss it. The sunsets and the big blue skies there. But the sandstorms and the rattlesnakes, and then I got some cuckoo neighbors that I could not escape. And that took a toll on my health big time. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So we moved to this property, which is still desert. It's considered high desert, but there are trees here. There's actually plant life here. But yeah, if I can do it with nothing, you can do it. You see some of these people, and no hate to anybody doing the off-grid thing, because it takes some gonads. It does. And anything you're doing to make your existence easier on this planet, props to you. Whether you have the money to throw into it or you're doing it like me where you're starting with nothing, mad love, mad love. But saying that, you'll see some of these people that, you'll see from day 1 to day 100 or whatever, and it just seems like this flawless transition. And maybe that's the case for them. But most instances, I think people just don't want to show the underbelly. Some do. And credit to you for that, because that's what people need to see, that there will be some dark days. There will be struggles. But, whose life doesn't have struggles? It's just a different kind of struggle. Some of the other things that I've seen, kind of going off topic, but some of the other things that I've seen for the off-grid videos, and I just find it hilarious, is the off-grid thirst traps. Oh my goodness, it just makes me laugh so hard. I didn't know they existed. You'll see like this chick bent over with their cha-chas hanging out, holding like a hammer or something. I mean, you do you, boo-boo, whatever gets you your views. It's just not my cup of tea, so I block it from my feed. But you'll have all kinds of different people, and I subscribe to a decent amount of off-gridders. But I don't want to see that. I want to see the people doing a thing. Like for real. But yeah, some people have the money to bring in, tractors and trucks and machines to break down logs into usable wood and stuff like that. You can do it that way, and props to you if you do. I mean, if I had the money to throw into it, by God, I would. But you don't have to. You don't have to. As long as you have it in your heart that this is what you want to do, go for it. The worst that's going to happen is if it doesn't work out and you go back to your regular life. At least you can say you tried, But if you really want it, you'll go through the struggles, and it'll take some time. I'm not going to lie to you, especially like me. You're starting with nothing. I don't have much. My son works, but he's an apprentice, so he makes very, very little money. I'm still dealing with my health issues. We only have one car. I have to be here with the animals. It's a difficult situation, but we make it work, and we're happy. We're happy. Ups and downs all put together. It's worth it. It's worth it. But if you're doing this and you're struggling, please don't give up. You'll get there. I've been out here now for a year. I don't have half as much done as I would like to. But I was out in the desert for 2 years. I got more done here in a year than I ever got done out there. But I don't have to deal with the heat and the sandstorms and, the stress of the cuckoo neighbor. And we do have neighbors here, but you can't see them. I'll see a car every once in a while because that is technically the main road. It's just dirt road, but that's the road that leads to everybody's property. So we'll see a car occasionally, but I don't have to deal with half the mess here that I had to deal with there. So I am making progress, but I've been doing this for 3 years. Still ain't got no money, but I'm doing it. So if I can do it with my health issues and our money issues and, everything else that goes along with it, trying to dig with, just a shovel when, some people use a tractor and dig a pit for drainage, or like I'm right now, which I did do pits, but I used a shovel. But right now I'm doing an underground pantry with a shovel and an axe. It's time consuming, and because my health's not great, I have to take a lot of breaks. So I am healthier than I have been in a really long time, but we can get to that another time. If you want to know the whole backstory and everything, just let me know. But it is very slow progress, but it's progress. And like I said, we're happy. And I will take this stress over the stress of living in a city and dealing with the 9 to 5 and paying rent to a landlord, and your money's just gone. You don't ever own anything. You got your rent, your car payment, your car insurance, and pass. I don't think I could ever go back to that life. Even if I had to, I don't think I'd do well at it because I'm so used to this now. But yeah, if you want to do it, don't let nobody, and people will tell you you can't do it and that you're crazy for doing it. Don't let nobody tell what you can and can't do. Because if I can do it, so can you.